I am Dr. Sridhar Kalyanasundram. Welcome to my channel. I have made many videos for parenting, mainly because I'm a pediatrician. But I thought I'll make a quick video on health awareness for adults as well, especially focusing on cardiovascular health and healthy lifestyle. So as we know, cardiovascular disease or coronary artery disease is increasing, and we have lifestyle problems. We have diabetes, we have hypertension, we have high cholesterol levels. All these predispose. So what exactly is coronary artery disease, and what is a heart attack, and how does it happen? So coronary arteries are the blood vessels which supply the heart muscles. The heart is a pump and it is made of muscle. The heart pumping effectively is important to deliver blood to all parts of the body, including your brain, and even the heart itself gets the supply from the pump of the heart. So it's very important to be aware of this. And the coronary arteries are the blood vessels which are the first vessels which come from the artery which comes out of the heart, called the aorta, and these go and supply the heart muscle. There are different names for it depending on which part of the heart it is supplying. Like any other blood vessel, this artery is also prone to damage from different aspects of our lifestyle. High cholesterol, hypertension, diabetes, any of these predispose to atherosclerosis, which is basically swelling of the muscle, the surface lining of the blood vessels, and you get cholesterol deposits in it, fat deposits in it, which makes the surface irregular. Hypertension makes the blood vessel narrower because it has to work against more resistance. The heart has to pump against more resistance, as the rest of the blood vessels have a higher resistance. It's like a pump having to pump against a blocked tubing. So hypertension leads to pump failure, and that may also make the muscle become thicker, which means it needs more blood to come through it. So diabetes makes all of this more likely to happen. Similarly, smoking affects your lining of the blood vessels. It affects your chances of getting hypertension. There may be a family history of such problems as well. So when the narrowing happens, the heart may not get enough blood flow. It can be a sudden block, it can be a gradual block, and if the gradual block causes a drop in the flow, only when you exercise or something like that, you may have exercise induced chest pain or angina. Angina is typical pain originating from reduced blood flow to the heart muscle, and you get radiating pain from the chest wall, left side of the chest, going down to the shoulder and to the arm. And you may have associated anxiety, you may have sweating, you may feel faint. This angina may keep progressively worsening, so the blood vessel block is increasing. So previously it used to happen with severe exercise, now it may happen with just climbing the stairs for a few steps or walking a little faster, so your exercise tolerance may start reducing. Angina happens if you're lucky. Sometimes the block progresses insidiously, you may not realize, and suddenly the block obstructs the whole vessel and the muscle dies. So the muscle dying underneath is called an infarction. The blood supply to the muscle stops and you get myocardial infarction. That particular portion of the muscle stops beating effectively, and you also have the electrical impulses conducted through the heart that may become chaotic. So the heart rhythm may not function normally. There is a beat called ventricular fibrillation, which doesn't have pumping effect. The heart has electrical activity, but it doesn't coordinate the pump, so there is no blood flow going, and you actually faint and you may die immediately. So the muscle may stop functioning, the rhythm may start changing abruptly. So that's why the resuscitation in adults, if you have a sudden fainting, you start with pumping the heart, and you have the artificial external defibrillator, which can defibrillate. It stops the heart briefly, so the normal rhythm can take over from this fibrillation rhythm. That's the name. Defibrillation means you stop the fibrillation. So having expert people trained or having access to the AED may be one of the most important things. So if a heart attack happens, you have to be lucky in two things. One, you need to be realizing that it is happening, or it should give you a warning so you can treat yourself beforehand. Suppose you have the angina and you go to the cardiologist, they will do your tests, and if needed angiography may be done. You have CT angiography, which is not invasive, and you also have the invasive angiography, where we put a catheter into our blood vessel, the larger blood vessels, and put a dye to see how the heart blood supply is. And once you have seen this, they may advise a bypass stenting. The block is bypassed by a stent, or you may need a coronary angioplasty, where you reconstruct the blood vessel which is narrowed. If the stenting is not possible because the block is too severe, or when you are stenting it can cause more problems, then you have to do angioplasty. So angioplasty is a surgical procedure, and obviously it's done on the heart surface. You're not opening the heart. If you realize that the risk of heart disease is there in anyone, you have to start focusing on your health. So healthy lifestyle, not smoking, avoiding stress, learning to de-stress, and focus on both family and work as best as you can. You have to look at your blood sugar and cholesterol levels once you start crossing a certain age of say 40, or if you have high risk factors even earlier. If you have a family history of early myocardial infarction, if you have family history of diabetes or high cholesterol, you have to do these tests earlier and then discuss with your doctor regarding further management. So please focus on your health, and also advise your relatives on all these aspects. I hope this video is useful, and do share. Thank you.